We've already finished the head section right here with the titles and the meta tags. So in this lecture, let's move on to the body section. So we'll be filling up codes in this particular section. So this is the section where the visible elements of the HTML page will be written, okay? So that is pretty much every part of the game you saw before, the game area, the rules, everything. So to start with, let's create the header section of the HTML page. This header is different from the head section we created before. The header section of a web page usually holds the heading of the web page in bold format, the navigation links to the other pages, like the contact page link and so on. It'll also hold the header image. But for this app, it's only going to hold the heading of the page. We're not going to create any navigation links or any images for now. So we'll be using the header tag to segregate the heading as the header of the page. The header tag was one of the newest tags created in HTML5, so we'll be using that. Before this, people usually use the div tags, but for now, let's just stick to the HTML5 format and use the header tag. So first of all, let's create header tags, and within that header tag, we'll be creating a heading1 tag. The heading1 tag is going to be like h1. So that's the heading1. It'll be of a bigger font size and it'll be bold. That's the difference between a normal text and a heading tag text. So, and we'll also be giving it ID of head by using the ID attribute. And let's close this. Okay, the heading is going to be tick tag toe game. So that's it. So we've created our header right now with our heading inside it. Look at this ID. So what is it? IDs are basically unique values that can be used to reference particular elements, and in this case, this particular heading1 tag. So we'll be able to refer this heading later on from our CSS or JavaScript codes by using the head ID. Okay? So these IDs are unique. You need to remember that. As in, now that you've used it, you can't use it again for any other element in this particular HTML file. Now head ID has been used, so it can't be used anywhere else. Let's see how this output looks for now. Great. So we have a heading. As I told you, it's of a bigger font size and it's bold, but it's not aligned. It doesn't have a color and everything. We'll take care of all of that in the CSS code. For now, this is what we have. So let's go back to the code. Now that the header is created, let's create the area where the game's result will be displayed. We'll be using a h1 tag for this as well and giving it an ID of result. So this doesn't have to come between the header tags because the result tag is not a part of the header. So it's going to be separate. So separately, h1 ID is equal to result within quotes. Remember that the ID values should always be within quotes. If it isn't, it won't work. Then let's close it with an ending tag. So as I just said, IDs are unique to an element in a HTML page. Also, they are great when using JavaScript to manipulate the elements, because when you specify the ID, the code will know which element you're referring to, no matter how many similar elements the page has. For example, if a page has 5 different heading1 tags, as in 5 different heading1 elements, by calling one of those elements with its unique ID, for in this instance by calling just head, your browser will know which of those 5 headings you're referring to, and it'll target that. So this is why they need to be unique. The manipulation can include anything from changing the content of the element, displaying content, deleting content, appending content, etc. So it's very important that the browser targets the correct element. That's where IDs are useful. Also, I need to mention something else. IDs are case sensitive, as in there's a difference between letters that have capitals and letters that are small. So here result has all small letters, but if I write it like this will be a different ID. So you need to remember that while either referencing an element or while declaring IDs. Okay, so let's leave this heading blank. We're not going to include any text within this because later on we'll be using JavaScript to manipulate this heading element and display the results right here. So this heading would probably be created, let me show you, somewhere here, but right now we can't see it because there's nothing between this heading tags. So later on, with the help of JavaScript, we'll be displaying the result as I showed you in the introduction right between these tags. Okay, so let's save this and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.